All right, welcome to the Snack Attack podcast here. Today, our special guest is David Baker. Welcome to the show, brother. Welcome to the show.
Man, thanks for having me. You are the light that poker needs. And, as somebody who, I know you hear this all the time, but you bring a smile and you bring the love to the game that we all love. And I love what you're doing here. I love to support you. I love to give you a high five and a hug when I see you in the studio and there's just not a lot of people like you that not only genuinely love the game, but love the players. And you treat us with respect. And likewise, I hope that you feel the love that we have for you.
Wow. Thank you for all the kind words. And,
I mean it.
You and I had Carrie Katz on my show, and you both always hug me all the time. You two especially. There's others that hug me too, but it does make me feel like part of the family. So
You're a good man, Clyde. Thank you for everything you do for us.
Well, I just love what I do, and thank you for all the kind words again.
Nice.
I want to appreciate you coming on my show. We're going to talk poker.
All right, let's do it.
We're gonna go way back here to 2012, where you played the 2,500 8-game mixed, and you won 271,000 and change, and it was your first bracelet, right?
Yeah, number one, my first bracelet. Pretty awesome. I mean, I'd been playing the World Series for a few years and had several third places and things like that, but I wasn't even sure if I was gonna win one. You always think well, I'll get back. But especially at that time, I was still young in my career. You think you are, but you just don't know. And that was a pretty special day. I got heads up with one of my best friends in poker, Greg FBT Mueller. Mm-hmm. And it was interesting because, you always think you want to I want to get heads up versus my friend. It'll be so much fun if we get heads up. And we're so excited about it. And then we get heads up and it's his girlfriend and my girlfriend, his best friend and my best friend. We're all super close. Wow. So we're sitting there and nobody wants to root for their guy. It's like my best friend is also his really good friend and vice versa. And it's you don't want to cheer because then it's then if you feel bad for the other guy. And we both wanted it so bad. It was my first and he was trying to win, I think his third. And yeah, I mean, I feel very blessed and grateful that I was able to win it and also be able to beat him because, as hard as it was playing your best friend at that time for 12 years, he hadn't heard the end of it. Every time we play, I always get a little jab in there at my man. So yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I like Greg. I've dealt to him many times in the RF poker room, the cash can.
Yeah, he's a character.
I love him. I love all you guys. Let's go to 2017. Here's a game I wouldn't mind trying one time because it's not a big buy-in. All right. It's at the WSOP. No, it wasn't at WSOP. It was an LA Poker Classic. It's a dealer's choice. It was a 2140 buy-in. You won the thing for $32,000. But the dealer's choice, explain it to everyone out there watching about what games are involved in that.
Yeah, dealer's choice is one of the most fun variations of poker tournaments that you can have. There's 20 different games that we play and every orbit, every 6 hands, a new person gets to choose what game we play for 6 hands. So you're constantly having to evolve and come up with ideas, kind of assess your opponents and, hey, man, Clyde, I've been watching you play and you're really good at these split pot games, Omaha 8 or better, stud 8 or better. But your no limit hold'em's not that good, so I'm going to pick no limit hold'em. Right. Or vice versa. It's I'm playing, Jesse Lonis is at the table. Well, I'm not going to pick no limit hold'em. That guy's the best. I might pick a little Omaha 8 or better. Let's see what his skill level is at that game. And it's constant doing that. LAPC was my home for so long, man. I mean, I have multiple LAPC wins, and every one of those I took a lot of pride in because I loved the Commerce Casino, and I know now it's kind of gone by the wayside. Commerce isn't what it used to be. But when I grew up in poker, that was the place. That was the tournament series that I loved and adored and gave everything I had. So every one of those trophies I still have and I love. And that one especially, that was a good one because first time I ever won a Dealer's Choice tournament. So yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, I've got to try one of these tournaments one day. I haven't yet. Of course, I'm not well off yet, but with that kind of a buy-in, if it ain't really big, I should be able to jump in it. But I like all the games.
Yeah.
Because I'm a dealer, I know how to deal them. And when you know about dealing the games, if you pay attention to what's going on, you can learn a little bit about them. And that's how I basically have gotten better at the games by watching and learning.
It's a funny story. People always ask me how I got into mixed and how I got good at mixed. When I started playing mixed, I started playing at the World Series. I had played a little bit. I knew the rules and kind of messed around, but for the most part, I hadn't played. And in 2010, I decided to play a couple of the smaller events just to see. And I just kind of watched. I played, but I watched and what the good players were doing and the hands they would turn over in the situations. And I would think about it. I'd be like, why did they do that? And then I would think, okay, that makes sense. And I'd kind of work backwards. And I was very lucky. I played the $3,000 horse event and I made it through day one. And day two, I got sat with Phil Ivey. And I just watched. I watched him. I watched how he handled a small stack. I watched how he handled a big stack. I saw some of the hands he turned over, some of the folds he made, some of the calls he made. And I'm just thinking, why did he do this? Why did he do this? Every single hand, why did he do this? And then we made day three together. I made the final table with him. He went on to win the tournament. I came in like sixth or something, and which was a great result for me. I mean, I was pretty new into mix, and it was a great final table. It was Bill Chen and Jeff Lissandro and John Juwanda and some. It was a killer table, and I got like sixth. And it was my first real like forte into mix, and that's what I suggest people do because nowadays you can't really practice that much mix. You've got to get in there. You've got to see hands. And playing cash games when they change the games all the time, it's tough. And cash isn't like tournaments. So I suggest, invest a little in yourself. Play some of these $1,500 events at the World Series. Go around town. There's $600 events. There's $800 events. The Aria has them all the time. Some of the other casinos around town, they have them. And just watch. Find the players that you think are good or people that you've seen have good results and watch them and try to figure it out. Sometimes you're going to see things that you might not agree with. And then you have to think, maybe they're not as good. Maybe they're making some mistakes along the way. Or maybe you're like, maybe I just didn't understand a concept that they did. And let me work backwards. And you kind of, it's good critical thinking. And that's kind of how I learn mix. And that's how I normally suggest people learn it.
I'm having so much fun right now. I'm speechless already. I love all them games too. I consider myself one of the better 08 players in the world because I usually cash all the time on it. And I was so close to winning bracelet last year.
I know we were all rooting for you, Clyde.
God, and then it hurts so bad to go to that cash out.
Yeah,
it really does because
let me turn the tables on you. Yeah. Looking back on that experience, do you think that there were things that you learned from that or that you would do differently today that you didn't do back then, having seen it?
That's a very good question. I thought I played my best.
You think you let your emotions get the best of you, or do you think you kept those under control?
Well, what I think happened was I ran really good, and then your confidence is booming.
Right.
And we went on break, and there were 31 people left, and I had the chip lead. I'm thinking, oh, my God, this is going to be it. This is it. And I kept trying to keep my emotions in check. I got interviewed. We come back playing the second half. I kept getting all this equity, like flopping the nut low with the nut flush, and I wasn't getting there. But I was trying to keep my spirits high.
Yeah.
So I would say I probably could have folded some hands a street or two earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I believe I have a number system I use. And I have to stay with this number system because I can't tell you how many times I was almost out in that tournament. That's the ups and downs in that tournament.
For sure.
So I battled back and forth. And when I had the chip lead, I thought, man, David, I really did. I thought I was going to win it. And man, you know all about it. I deal to you in the Poker Go studio too. I deal to you in cash games. But everybody in that Poker Go studio, say, Clyde, if you ever get to a final table, you're going to have the biggest reel.
Oh, for sure.
So that hit my mind because during that tournament, David, you know how many of those guys come by and was rooting me on?
So many, I know.
Oh my God.
I was one of them.
3 or 4.
Yeah.
I mean, dozens. Dozens of players were coming by. Go get them, Clyde.
Well, the one piece of advice I'll give you is next time you get in that situation, you think back, don't let your brain get ahead of yourself because sometimes that's what people do. I don't know if that happened in this situation, but sometimes hands just happen and sometimes you just lose and there's nothing you can do about it. But just make sure that you stay in the moment because one thing I've learned in my career is sometimes I allow my brain to get ahead of myself and I start thinking about winning. I start thinking about getting the final table and you can't control that yet. You got to stay in that moment and you've got to play that hand the best way that you can. You've got to get to that next stage of the tournament the best way that you can. And then you worry about the next stage when you get there. So that would be the one thing that I would suggest next time, whether it happened this time or not, just make sure you stay in that moment and you worry about getting to that next step.
Well, when I got knocked out of that tournament, I had the best hand to the river. I had 7s full of queens, and which would have put me right as a big pot.
Yeah.
It would have put me right back up in, not on, I call it ventilator. I mean, I was low on chips, but I wasn't out. But I had 7s full of queens. And there was like 3 or 4 people in the hand. And then the river came king. Give the guy queens full of kings. To knock me out of the tournament. I think I was 21st or 22nd or 20th, somewhere in there, because me and another guy went out at the same time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But yeah, I think you're right. When you learn from these situations, right, David? You had to do it many times yourself. And eventually you went over the top and you finally got your bracelet. And now you have multiple bracelets.
Yes, sir.
And boy, we got a lot of good things to talk about here, David, about your career.
Let's get back into it.
All right, we're going to go with 2019. You played the 1,500 limit hold'em. You already told me you did well on that. Now, here's the question I'm sure all the people watching. What is the different skill factor in limit versus no limit? What's the different skill factor for that?
Well, limit hold'em, there's so many more hands that you play than in no limit, and it's all about getting that extra bet, saving that extra bet. Whereas in no limit, a lot of times you're using your stack to win the pot there, protect the pot, trying to get big chunks of chips in one hand, whether you're trapping or coolering or whatever. In limit hold'em, that's not really it. It's about the small edges. It's about getting that extra bet in when you have a pair and they have ace high. It's about getting them to fold when you have king high and they have ace high. It's about maybe saving a half a bet by raising the flop instead of calling the turn. There's all these little things that go into limit hold'em. It's about leveraging your stack too. I think people think about leverage and leveraging your stack when it comes to no limit hold'em because you think I have a big stack, I can leverage this big stack. But when you have a big stack in limit hold'em, you can leverage that because if you have, let's say you have 5 or 6 bets, Clyde, and I have 25 bets, and you raise with your 2 5s, and I 3-bet you with ace jack. Well, you know what? I'm gonna bet, and you're gonna have to call basically your whole stack down or half your stack with 2 5s. Yeah. Now, in no limit, you just kind of make the decision. You're like, well, I have a pair. I hope he has 2 overs. Let's just run it, and you get to see 5 cards. And if you have 5s and I have ace jack, and you have 7 blinds and I have 60 blinds, we're just running it. But in limit hold'em, you can't get your whole stack in. So now I'm leveraging each bet and it comes, queen, 10, 4. Now you got to call again. Now you got to guess. Does he have ace king? Does he have ace queen? Does he have ace jack? Does he have 2 jacks? And I can do that on every single street. I can leverage my stack and just put you to it. And eventually you're just going to give up. You're going to be like, well, I still have 3.5 bets left. Let me try, I'm not going to guess with these 2 5s on the queen 10, 9, 4 board.
Right.
In no limit, your money's just in and you get to see the cards. You can't do that in limit hold'em. So I think you can leverage your stack in limit poker more than in no limit. And people don't realize that.
Yeah. I want to tell you something I've learned when I'm in tournaments, and I'm going to see if you do the same thing. I haven't won a lot of the big tournaments like you have, but what I always pay attention to, and I'm betting that you do the same thing mainly, is as the tournament's going on, no matter if your stack's going up a little bit, down a little bit, I'm always checking on the board what the average stack is. So I know where position I am in the tournament as it goes on. Do you do that too?
Sometimes. I think sometimes that can be a big help for you, but also sometimes you become a prisoner of chasing that. And, let's say you have half of average, let's say average is 800,000 and you have 400,000, but you still have 20 blinds. Like, you don't really want to be chasing, I need to double up because I got to get to average. You really need to think like, I still have 20 blinds. I have plenty of time. Let me wait for my moment. So it works both ways. It just depends how you mentally can handle that. If you mentally can handle knowing that you are below average, but you're not desperate, sometimes you're average and you're desperate. Sometimes you're below average and you're not desperate because of the blind structure, because of the construction of the game, whether you're playing a limit game or whether you're playing a no limit game, whether you're playing a pot limit game, whether you have an aggressive table or a non-aggressive table. Now you can play, if you have 20 blinds and you have Alex Foxen and Chance Kornuth to your left, that's a different situation than if you have 20 blinds and you have Alan Kessler to your left, right? Because they're going to constantly put pressure on you, whereas Alan's going to let you kind of get away with small bets to take small pots and you can keep your position. So not all chip stacks, not all relative average is the same.
Well, see, when I'm playing like even our daily at the Aria, our 200 little buy-in, I'll pay attention to the average stack if I'm taking a beating. If I'm taking a beating and I'm down some chips and I look what the average stack is, I think, okay, if I get a double up, I'm right back to average stack. That's how I think.
Yeah.
I don't think, oh no, I'm going to have to force myself into getting there. But I'm thinking, just be patient, Clyde. Wait for your hand. And if you could get a double up, you're right back in it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I also do that at the World Series. I pay attention to average stack. I'm glad it's up on the board because sometimes you're against thousands and thousands of players. So, but I don't ever try to rush myself.
Yeah, don't force it.
Don't ever try to force
Don't
myself.
ever force it because at the end of it, it just matters that you're there. And like I said, not all average stacks are created equal. It's based on blind level. It's based on where you are in the tournament. 20 blinds in level 4 is different than 20 blinds in level 20 because in level 4, people are constantly putting pressure on you because if they lose 20 blinds to you, they don't care. But in level 20, when the average stack is 30 and you have 20, like now you can leverage that stack a little more. And like I said, the composition of the table, how aggressive that table is going to come into effect there as well.
Yeah, the dynamics of any table, no matter what tournament you're in, come into play. And believe it or not, it's where you're positioned at the table.
Definitely.
If you got the stacks in front of you or behind you, that's going to dictate somehow how you play a hand because, if you keep limping in, think you're going to see an re-raise. So I almost never try to limp in anymore because I know I'm just throwing chips away.
For sure.
All right, I'm going to go to a game I like. Okay, I like all these games. But 2023 at the WSOP, you won the 1,500 Razz for $152,000 and change. How is that?
That one means a lot to me. I don't know what year it was. Maybe it was 19 or 20. Maybe it was 21. I had a chance to win the 1,500 Razz. I had the guy 30-1 heads up. I had 3 million. He had 100,000. I had him all in 2 different times with the best hand, best draw with 1 card to come. And he's a great player. Jason Gola, nothing from him. And he came back and he beat me. And we played 6 hours heads up at the World Series. And he came back and he beat me. And it's one of the few times in my poker career that I actually cried. I went back with my wife, and I might not win again. I didn't think and I let that one slip away, and that one always stuck in my craw. It always stuck that I let that one slip away. And so this one, I got heads up, and I was the short stack. And I came all the way back the same way that he did, the same way he did to me. So I felt like, you know what? Evened out. And I was only supposed to get one of those. I feel like I probably stole this one, and I probably got the other one stolen from me. But that's poker. Sometimes, when you think about that sometimes life's not fair, poker's not fair, that, just stick with it and just keep going, because sometimes you might win something you don't think you sometimes you lose something you think you deserve, but then sometimes you might win something you don't think you deserve. And that's why you can't give up on any of them. You always have to fight when you're short. Always fight. Always give yourself an out.
It's true.
Yeah.
I'm always thinking, one thing David, when I first started playing cards, I used to be a hothead. Really. Why me? Why me all the time? Why this, that? And I've changed my mentality on that.
Good.
But I used to be and I'm not like that now, but I used to be, thanks, dealer. Which I'm a dealer, you know what I mean? I don't want to do that again. But I felt like, oh man, you got to be kidding me. How'd you do that deal? Stuff like that. But now it's oh no, it's just waste, but it's not his fault. He didn't force me to put the chips in there. I should have known what the guy was. I should have known his range. I should have known what he was trying to tell me what he had, the way he bet, the way he done it. But I used to be bad at that. I'm so much better at that.
Good.
And that's why I think I'm going to hit a big one soon.
I
think my mentality is on. And by the way, David, I want to ask you this while we got so much to talk about. Do you believe when you're not playing your best and you're not running your best that you can learn the most?
Yeah, you can definitely learn a lot about yourself, and you have to be real with yourself. That's one thing I've done very, very well in my career is I'm pretty honest with myself. I was just having a conversation with my good friend, AJ Kelsall, yesterday over text. And we were talking about the mixed game series that's coming up here at PokerGo and playing. And I said, you know what? I said, I'm excited for it because I don't think I played my best at the World Series in the mixed events. I played great in the No Limit Hold'em. I was really focused. I had a great No Limit Hold'em series, but I did not have a very good mixed series at the World Series. And at the time I was blaming my bad luck, my bad runs.
Yeah.
But you know what? I gave away bets. And I gave away opportunities to grind a short stack back because I gave up on some tournaments. And I didn't do that in the no limits. In the no limits, I stayed patient. I stayed present. I didn't get super mad when things didn't go my way. Obviously, we all have it. We're all human and we're going to have those moments. But in the mixed games, when I would lose a pot, it would just stew. And the thing about limit poker and these mixed games is the hands come really fast. In no limit, sometimes you fold and a hand goes on for 5 minutes and you get a chance to decompress while Steve Chidwick and Vogelsong are playing on a 14-minute hand. You can decompress during that. In limit hold'em, you don't have that. You're getting a hand. So now that I recognize that I probably did not play my best during the World Series mixed events, I'm excited to try it and see if I can get that emotional control back that I used to have.
Yeah, you always can learn. And I've been playing for a long time, and I've come a long way and I've learned more as the years have went on. Believe it or not, God, it's right between the damn ears, David. I'm telling you.
It is.
Now, I'm bad on running horrible, and I keep saying to myself, okay, you're going to come out of it. Just don't start playing bad.
Yeah.
Just take the beating, but it's going to change. Don't start playing stupid. And as I'm playing and I'm running bad, I'm like, okay, this is part of the part where I just got to hang in there. I got to hang in there and just, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Just play your best. Just do the best you can.
For sure.
And I've learned so much, and my game is so much better because of that.
Well, I'll tell you, Clyde, you doing this podcast, you get some of the best players in the world that get to come in here, and they get to tell you their secrets.
Yeah.
You take all that.
Oh,
you
yeah,
take all
sure.
that and you use it.
Yeah, and you're going to start winning now because you're wearing one of the most beautiful hats that's ever printed.
Thank you. Not really a hat guy, but I got it on today, and I'll wear it from time to time in
you're
there.
You're going to start winning now.
You know?
All right, let's talk some more about your career. Number one, you're playing I think, in the capital of poker in Las Vegas, correct?
100%.
All the big names come here, play all the time. World Series is here, going on. WPT comes here. Napa comes here. I can go on and on. Do you know in Nevada, you're 12th on the all-time money list in Nevada? Think of that. Now, you're also 98th in the United States. That's of all the millions of people that play in this damn game, you're in the top 100. That ought to make you feel great, David. That's a big accomplishment, I think.
I'm pretty proud of it, especially because I've never played the high rollers. I've never played a $25,000 event. The only 50K I play is the PPC. I've never played a no limit one. I've never played any of the 100Ks. I've never, didn't play the 250 or the 300. All my stuff is low to mid stakes, capping at 10K. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of my accomplishments. I've just grinded. I'm a true grinder, Clyde. I do it for the love of the game. People, when I hear people say, "Oh, if I won the main event, I'd never play again." If I won the main event, I play more. I love this. I love poker.
Me too.
I love
it,
man. And what I'll be doing tonight? I'm going to be playing poker.
I love the people in poker.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know a lot of them love it like I do.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them treat it like family. I know you know about that in the studio. It's amazing. But I deal everywhere, and I get more respect in the Poker Go studio than anywhere else. Whether I flip a card, which I hardly ever do, but when I do, it ain't like, "Oh my God, what'd you do that for?"
Yeah.
But you might hear that in the other room. So I enjoy the family thing. You know what I mean? All right, I want to talk about this, your best live cash. And I'm sure you're real proud of this one.
Oh, for sure.
Because it's got 7 digits to it. But this was the WPT 10,000 championship, where you got first place for $1,015,000.
Yeah, that was the Los Angeles Poker Classic. That was Commerce Casino. And I grew up at Commerce. That was my home. That was my home for 20 years. I would spend 200 nights a year in that hotel and fly back and forth to LA. And all I did was play there. And LAPC was my, the World Series obviously is separate, but that was the one for me that meant the most. And $10,000 freeze out. So it didn't even get multiple bullets. No limit hold'em, which, I played no limit and I had done well, but I had never had like an actual big win in no limit before this. And I think that kind of put me on the map as being an all-around player. Everybody kind of considered me as a mixed player because all my wins had been in mixed tournaments.
On Razz, yeah.
Yeah, and it was kind of like, you know what? This is a real tournament. This is a $10,000 no limit tournament. All the best players were there. You're playing Phil Ivey. You're playing Phil Hellmuth. You're playing Daniel Negreanu. They all played that tournament.
Yeah.
All the Euros. I played, three-handed. You know the people I played three-handed were?
No.
Darren Elias.
Oh my God.
And Mattis Cymbalis, who won won a WPT and came in second in another one the year before. One of an online killer and live killer. Darren Elias, Mr. N Boss. Wow. The WPT, nobody has more WPTs than him. I think if you polled people who are your top 10 players, he would come up in everybody's list. And I beat him. And so to me, that's a lot of pride.
Yeah.
This wasn't a slouch event. So I take pride in that. And that one, that one's always gonna sit very fond when you ask me my crowning achievements in poker. That'll be number one for me. Like that's it. Ahead of the bracelets. That one's always number one.
Something else, David, that I don't want to forget before I we end all this up, but your birthday is July the 14th?
Yes, sir.
That's my son's birthday.
Oh, yeah?
My son's birthday is July the 14th. When I was checking your stats out, I looked to see your birthday, and I'm like, wow, that's when my son's birthday is. Small world, I guess.
Yeah, kindred spirits.
Now, recently you were playing over in the Poker Go studio.
Yes, sir.
And the last chance, and you had a pretty good. Did you get a seat, by the way?
I did. Yeah, I won the leaderboard.
And you know how he got it? I'm going to tell you how he got it, folks. You ready? It's a PGA last chance. He hit twice. He got second for 174.4, and then he got second again for 210,000. That's damn near 400,000 there. That's great play. Plus, you went deep in others. I don't know if you cashed anymore, did you?
Yeah, no, those were the
two big ones. 2 seconds.
2 seconds
God,
out of
you
5
almost
events.
had a first too. That one you had the chip lead. It was back and forth. I was dealing in the room in another event, but I kept watching and seeing how you were doing.
Yeah, I mean,
and it was like a tug of war.
5 events with all the best players and get 2 seconds. I'm pretty proud of that. The first one, I was pretty thankful to get second. Some seconds are good and some are heartbreaking. The first one was great. I was up against some great competition that had more chips than me, and getting second, I was thrilled to get to that point. The second one also had some great competition. That final table was insanely talented.
Wow.
Chino, Chrissy.
Wow, seat one was
there was
God, it was loaded.
Yeah, there were some others there, but I got heads up and I had a chance to win. The guy played great. He was a very, very good player. I can't remember his name.
Dong? Was it Dong?
Who was it? I can't remember. It was a kid from the Philippines, and very nice gentleman, and very good player. But I had him a couple times. Had the best hand, and
sorry about that.
Looks like Clyde. Very important.
The ladies won't leave me alone.
But I had him a few times, and but that's poker. Like I said, sometimes you win things that you don't deserve, and sometimes you don't win things that you think you do deserve. And so, we just take it all. We just take it all in stride. I'm very thankful and lucky to have had the achievement that I did there. Those guys, that studio is just full. Every player in there is top notch. So
I know.
I'm
amazing.
I'm just proud I got out of there alive. I'm swimming with the sharks, Clyde. I mean that's not my domain. That's
not my domain. Now you're going to keep doing it for a couple reasons.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
You're a very good player.
Thank you.
I enjoy talking poker with you, even when you're in the room. And now that you've been on the podcast, I'm serious. You could check it. Everyone's come on my podcast somehow goes on a winning streak.
Well, that's because you bring great players in.
It's unbelievable. True. Well, that might have something to do with it. I might have to find some more. No, but that's what I always use. You need to come on this show.
Yeah.
I remember when I asked Derek Jaffe to come on the show because I'd love to. I go, that means you're going to start winning now. Because, you see what he's done recently?
Yeah.
How many final tables in a row? Bam, bam, over at the Poker Go studio.
Yes, sir.
I think he got a second, and a fourth, and a third or something. Like bang, bang, bang.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not trying to use all the credit on that, but
it was probably mostly you, Clyde.
But it makes me feel great when people come and agree to come on my show, on the Snack Attack podcast, and then they get rewarded with,
that has less to do with luck and more to do with your heart and who you are as a person. We come for you. Luck is flowing, but your love for us and the poker community, that's what it's all about. And, you've been asking me for a little while and I've been like, Clyde, for sure. Whenever, let's arrange. And we finally, both our schedules matched up. And I'm glad that I was able to come on here and talk with you.
I enjoy every minute of this. There's quite a few that say they're coming on, but like you said, it's hard to get the schedules lined up. And mainly it's probably my own fault because I've got the best job in the world, folks. I'm dealing at Aria full time. So I got 2 days off to arrange it. And if these poker pros don't have the same day or they're not playing a tournament, it's hard to, coincide and get this all right. So
no, you're doing a great job. You're doing a great job. And we appreciate
you've been wonderful so far. Everything you're saying is helping all those out there watching.
Good.
What are your plans coming up for this year, 2026? You going to play the main event or anything like that?
Come on, Clyde.
Tough question.
What are we doing here? What are we doing here? You just asked me if I'm going to wake up. If I wake up, I'll be there. That's what I do. I'm a poker player, Clyde. I'm going to play poker. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to play stuff at the studio. I'm playing cash at the Aria, 4 or 5 nights a week. Kind of made the transition, honestly, from I used to play tournaments and then mixed game cash. I've kind of made the transition. Now I'm playing tournaments and no limit cash. I've really found a home at the Aria and the no limit game there. MJ's game, which if
I deal to it.
Yeah, you deal to it. It's a fun game, fun atmosphere, great people, and if you're a fun player and you want to play 25-50 no limit, you can hit me up, or we can arrange to give you a tryout.
I wouldn't mind that.
See if you're a fun player. No, we have fun, and it's all gambling and joking and bluffing and showing bluffs and all kinds of fun stuff. So I've really kind of found a home there, and I really enjoy it. And the tournaments, as long as I'm staying successful in tournaments, I'm going to keep out there because it's fun. The difference between cash and tournaments, it's like, people who see me play in the tournament, they have their impression of me is completely different than people who see me playing cash. I'm out there tournaments. I'm, semi-serious, especially when it gets later. I'm kind of a little tighter. I have moves and I make moves, but I'm kind of, I'm kind of trying to play, good disciplined poker. When I'm in the cash games, I'm just going for it, just doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And then every once in a while, like the cash game me comes out in the tournaments and they don't expect it, or I just kind of go crazy with a hand and they don't expect it, or vice versa. Sometimes, I can knit it up in the cash game, usually for about 5 minutes, and then the inner animal comes out in me. I can't really knit it up too much in cash. I'm not built that way, but yeah, I'm just going to play poker. I'm going to play poker. I love playing poker. I'm planning on going to Prague this year and doing the World Series Europe.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I'll obviously be playing everything at the World Series. I'll be playing a lot of studio events. As long as I'm successful, I'm going to go where I'm successful. I don't really set plans too far in advance because I want to do what I'm enjoying. And if I'm enjoying tournaments, I'm going to keep playing them. And if I'm enjoying cash, I'm going to keep playing that. So, do what you're being successful and do what you're enjoying. Like, that's kind of how I live my life.
I deal that game you're talking about. What's the name's game? And they get a kick out of me. And I get a kick out of them.
For sure.
But I enjoyed it because, once again, it reminds me of the studio. It's like family. I mean, no one fights or nothing. They're just,
never.
If they take a beat, they don't think nothing of it. Now, I want to go back to the last tier here. You got to experience something with me. I want to see if you remember it. The mixed triple draw. You were sitting right across from me when we were in the money. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What a table, by the way, we were at. Jesus Christ. Anyhow, you got to see me towards the end there. But before you came to our table, Cheeto Ream knocked out a player to where we all were in the money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you remember that part when Cheeto won it?
I don't remember all of it, but it's coming back to me a little bit as you're talking about it.
All right. So then we went on break. Now they had this thing where they give you the chip updates right on the break. So I look at the damn thing and here it shows my name. I'm 8th in chips with over 200, I think 64,000. I think. I know I was like, wow, I'm in 8th place with 70 people left. I'm thinking, oh my God, I got another chance at a bracelet. I already know I'm in the money. The top 70 got paid. And then everything went to shit. Once again, I couldn't believe it. I finished, what was it? Easy in the money, 61st or 60th. But you were across from me when I got knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
We had the actor sitting to my left.
Oh, James Woods.
What's his name?
James
Woods. Yeah. And before you came to the table, James Woods was talking to me. And he goes, I'm sorry, I don't know who you are. Because He just didn't know who I was, which most people know who I am now. It's crazy, really.
Yeah.
But he looks over at me and goes, I don't know who you are, but man, you're playing great. You're betting on certain cards that no one would bet on. So you're not giving away your hand strength and everything. And I said to him, I go, yeah, but sometimes I have to see where I'm at. Sometimes I bet for that to see where, because remember, these mixed games are usually all limit.
Right.
Okay. And this was the mixed triple draw. So I'm doing super. He's almost out. And as the tournaments, after we're in the money, I'm losing almost every hand. I can't believe it. I've got so many good draws. And David, there's so many good players that were in hand, and they were 3-4 betting pre-flop or pre-draw, I should say. And I've got a hand I can't fold, David. I can't. Deuce to 7, I got 2, 3, 5, 7. I'm supposed to lay that down?
No.
Hell no. And they're re-raise. I'm like, I got to call. And I had all them chips. And I finished in 64, which should have never happened. Because by the time we were all done raising each other, I'm drawing 1, draw 3. I'm like, fuck you raising with that? Are you drawing 3? You kidding me? You maxing out the bet? And I'm thinking, God. So I'm going to tell you, next year when I play that event, I should win that event. If they're going to draw 3 and 4 times, three cards, and I'm drawing 1, I'm not always going to miss every time.
Right.
But that's what happened to me that knocked me down before you came to the table. And then when I got to the table, you're like, I'm rooting for you, buddy. Remember that?
Yeah.
Clyde, if I don't win it, I want you to win it. You were telling me.
Always. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, man, I wish you were here about a half hour ago. I had so many chips, you'd think I was a chip leader.
But these tournaments have the ebbs and flows, and you probably, sometimes in these, especially in these mixed things, sometimes there's nothing you can do about it. But then other times, just make sure don't get ahead of yourself. When you see your 8th out of 70, and start thinking about, don't get ahead of yourself. None of that matters. It just matters for that moment in time. On breaks, your chip position, it only matters for one hand. Your chips change. Everybody's chips are going to change in 5 minutes. So don't necessarily be worried about where you're standing in the tournament. You're alive. You're there. Just like right now in life. You've gone through some things in your life, but you know what, Clyde?
Still here.
You're alive.
Yeah.
You're short stack.
I'm short stack.
But you're here. So make the most of it and just try to make every decision so that you can live the best life that you can, whether that's on the felt or off the felt.
Here's another thing. When I'm drawing 1, I know you know these games like I do.
For sure.
I'm drawing their card. I've got 2, 3, 5, 7, and I'm drawing a deuce, a 4, a deuce, a 4. So I know I'm taking their cards. And I can't hit. And they're winning with 98 or 76. And I'm like, geez, I'm 1 away from nut every time. But yeah. But once again, we were talking about this earlier. My mentality is stronger for it. Believe me, I know this. I know that if they're going to continually play like that, man, my chances of winning are going to go up.
Do we really want everybody playing good?
No, we don't.
So sometimes when people play bad, they're going to get lucky. That's the nature of the game. And if people didn't get lucky, they wouldn't play because people aren't as talented as you. And so, when it comes down to it, we need people to be less talented than you. We need them to try to depend on luck. And you know what? Sometimes luck's going to give them their cards.
Yeah.
And then we're just going to lose. And that's just the way it goes. That's how poker is. And we got to play the volume game.
I'm telling you, the one thing I'm proud about myself is that I know what the hits I've taken. And I'm telling you, I feel stronger and better for it. I know it sounds crazy, but I really feel by taking these beats, I'm going to be in a position someday where I'm at a final table and it's going to matter if I win or lose. And I'm going to think back to it like, okay, let's think of a better time, a better hand, a better position. Even though my hand's strong, I'm going to lay this son of a bitch down.
Yes, sir.
Even though I know it's good.
Yep. Sometimes you got to.
Well, I want to tell you something. You made me very happy coming on my Snack Attack podcast.
You made me happy asking.
And time's just about up. And I want to thank you for coming on the show. I want to thank everybody for watching. I really appreciate how many followers I have and how much people are enjoying poker as much as I am. And I'm going to keep this coming to you if you want to keep watching. May God bless you and have a good night.